Greetings and aloha, what's going on? It's Mike from LiveMyAssOff.com. I am just about to leave room 202 here at the Palm Garden Resort. I was sort of meandering my way from the east side of Thailand to the west side. I am currently about probably 1 hour or so south of Krabi. I'm in Trang province. I went from Nakhon Si Thammarat province over here to Trang province. Went to another beach over here yesterday, pretty much raining the whole way. And then got to the beach and it was getting to be about 5 or 6 at night, and I usually don't like to leave it that late. I usually like to find a place to stay by about 3 p.m. But I found this place by just going to Google Maps. Once again, high five to Google Maps. So I'll show you what I got. It's a little room here. It was 800 baht a night. And a very large fridge, TV, of course, that I didn't use. That probably won't shock you, but it had fine AC, which I'm now going to turn off, actually. The shower was kind of cool. It's one of these designs where it's like kind of a rustic, industrial, modern, I don't know what you would call this, but you know, it's like they make it out of concrete and then they like put a finish on the concrete. And anyway, totally functional, and great hot water in the shower this morning. I went down the street to a little market and then got some drinks at, let's see, hold on, let me make sure this is off. Okay, there we go. Got some drinks at 7-Eleven and made my way back to the Palm Garden Resort. This is what's known as a big room. There are small rooms. Small rooms are 600 baht, maybe 500 baht, 500 or 600 baht. This one was 800 baht. And the street is all the way down there, and I am the only person staying in this entire place. And last night was Friday night, so don't know if it's getting busier than this, but the woman in front was fine, and she seemed happy that I was here. And I say that because I do get to some places occasionally, and like I'm the only guy showing up, and it's almost, it seems as though it's a chore for them to take my money. And they were lovely here. The Wi-Fi was great, and I will show you the reason why. Because the router was right there, a TP-Link, and it's a fairly decent router. I would have aimed the antennas in a different way, and if you can see it, oh, it had a lucky gecko up there on the power supply. So anyway, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to drive about an hour. Well, in Google Maps, it's like about an hour, and I'll stop along the way maybe to find some cool stuff, or maybe just to not find some cool stuff. So yeah, so about an hour and 10 minutes on the Google Maps between here and the Hua Hin Pier. The Hua Hin Pier is the pier you take to go to Koh Lanta if you have a car, and I have a car. So my goal is to go to Koh Lanta because I don't need to return this car until I believe next Wednesday at the Phuket International Airport. And again, returning it may mean bringing it back there and getting another week or another day or another month or something like that. I do not have a return ticket back to Bangkok yet, and I don't have plans on when I'll go back to Bangkok yet. I've just had my air conditioners fixed up there, and I sent the 1,200 baht to clean both of them and, you know, clear them all out and everything, you know. So and it's interesting. In my lease, it says it's supposed to happen every 6 months, but it happened at 6 months, and they didn't charge me. And then recently I got home, and it was like dripping, right, which means the drain was like clogged. So in any case, the point is that I completely live my life remote from where I, you know, have a place for Gracie and I. And so traveling has really become very easy for me. I have the one backpack that holds my clothes, and I have the one backpack that holds my gear, my equipment, my laptop, my cables, my everything that I need to sort of keep in touch with you guys as well as my mom and dad. And of course, Gracie on my phone all day, every day through WhatsApp. So grateful for that. I can't imagine doing this 20 years ago and only being able to sort of call her and it being very expensive, or sending a letter to the Philippines, which would never get there. So without any further ado, don't you just hate, anyway, I'm gonna get in the car and I'm gonna head to the Hua Hin Pier. And what I'm told is it's a first come first served basis, and you get on the ferry with your car. I'm told that for a car with up to two people, it's 112 baht. So we'll see what happens when I get there. You just show up, and then when the ferry fills up, I guess they take you over to Koh Lanta. And then from Koh Lanta, I go Koh Lanta Noi, which is a little island that not a whole lot of people stay at, I'm discovering. And then you go to Koh Lanta Yai, which is basically the Koh Lanta that most people think about. There's a resort over there that's got a beachfront bungalow that they advertised. I checked with them on Facebook. It's got air conditioning, it's on the beach, and it's 775 baht a night. So we'll see if that's still available. And then we'll check in from there. So I'll talk to you guys soon. We're on our way. Another part of the road trip. So what I do for the air conditioning is I put it on auto, and then I put it on the highest setting that I possibly can, which is 28 degrees. It's currently 25 degrees C and humid. Very, very humid. Oh, I got one of these. You know how like you're pulling up to a stoplight and people are like selling things? I got 4 donuts for 20 baht, and then I got this thing that I see many Thais hanging from their rear view mirror for 20 baht. And whether this is the reasoning or the case or the result, in my mind, I believe it brings me good luck, and so therefore it does. All right, so we're on our way. One of the things that I sort of find interesting when I'm traveling around Thailand is the ability to do it very easily and comfortably. And by that I mean, like, there are gas stations everywhere, and in the gas stations there's always a restroom. I've never met one that's like really dirty, but for the most part in the United States, most of the restrooms in, you know, fairly large gas stations on the side of the road are pretty clean too, right? Many of them around here will have like a coffee shop and a 7-Eleven, and then like little kiosks out front that'll sell chicken and rice and then that sort of thing. But I've run across this just now, and it's the first time I have a, you know, it basically said rest area coming up in like 500 meters. And it's open from 8 a.m. till 8 p.m. But what's interesting is obviously it's in Thai at the top, English, but then also Chinese, right? And I find stuff like this very interesting as well as encouraging. Interesting because I don't see this area that I'm in right now, which is now Trang province. I was in Nakhon Si Thammarat province. But where I am right now, I'm just basically road tripping, and you know, it's got very similar sort of facilities that I would see in other areas. So anyway, I'm going to, and what's interesting, I just noticed, is you take off your shoes and then they have slippers for you. So that is pretty sweet. I'm quite certain that the restrooms are just fine. But anyway, I just wanted to stop and quickly show this to you guys. It comes with its own cat, which is nice. And other people obviously take advantage of it as well. It's got this little travel route sign here that I just noticed. Let me take a look at that. Now this is 100% in Thai, and so I'm unclear the sort of spots they have along the way, because as we know, I am sadly illiterate. But anyway, I just wanted to make a quick stop, show this to you guys, and we're back on the road. And I still have like about 45 minutes till I get to Hua Hin Pier. On we go. So this is a very standard example. So you have your standard gas station, right? And then you have a mini mart over there, which is frequently a 7-Eleven, but you can also see it's got like a cafe next to it, and you can get, you know, standard Thai food. The restroom is in excellent condition actually in this one. A lot of times they'll have stuff like this too for people to take selfies. I guess I am in, it looks like behind the bush, FAH. So I guess I'm in Sakofa. So I'll take the obligatory selfie. And then there's a restaurant over here / coffee shop. This one is called Southern Coffee. And finally, as an example over there, you can see the kiosks. Burger Man. Smoothies, looks like they have smoothies. I may get a smoothie. And the good news is that they always, this is going to be in the sun, you might not be able to see it, but they always have a very tall tower or you know, signage that you can always see from far away. So just as an example of how easy and quite frankly comfortable it is to road trip here in Thailand, at least in my experience so far. I had a few seconds, so I just said, okay, I'm going to turn the camera on. I'll show you guys how I get over to Koh Lanta. And no, I don't drive straight into the water. I drive on this pier, which looks like there's plenty of room, which is kind of cool. I'm also quite confident that these guys will like direct me. And but this is definitely pro car. As you can see in the upper left there, that's where I stand as a human. And I'll do the mirrors, bring those in. There we go, that's good enough, right? Good? So I guess I'm good. I'm going to assume that I just sit here. So my engine is off, I'm in park, and I have my emergency brake on. Everywhere I looked online, it said, now the cars next to me are still running, which I get because of the air conditioning, right? And like I have the air conditioning set on 28, and it's 28 degrees outside. So really all I would do is remove humidity, and I'm more than okay with humidity. That's the next one. They pretty much just like keep coming all day from, I'm told, I think what I saw online was 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. The last one, everyone seems to agree, all the websites, that it runs at 2200. Cost me 100 baht. The way it works is you drive up, and just before you're coming up to a hill and over to here, you pull in, there's like little kiosk, like toll booth things, and there's like 3 or 4 lanes. There was nobody there. I mean, there obviously are cars here, so I'm not the only one doing this. They had a gentleman there, and he said, oh, 100 baht. And I'm like, really? Because everywhere I read online, it was like 117 baht, 120 baht, you know, one person. Maybe it's 117 or 120 baht for 2 people. Maybe that's what I read. But me in the car, you know, $3, 10, 15 cents, whatever the exchange rate is, basically 100 baht, free. And again, as I mentioned, I have this for good luck, so I'm good. I'm really looking forward to this. I haven't done this. And again, all this stuff, while I really wish Gracie was right here, the fact that she's not just basically encourages me more to make sure that I share this, certainly with videos with her and my mom, but also with you guys too. And so I may start my car and turn the AC on. I haven't decided. I kind of like the whole windows open thing. I'm probably gonna take off my seatbelt because and I actually can add a little bit more legroom to myself, so that's kind of fun. I believe those horns mean that we're going to depart. I'm not completely sure. I don't know what it looks like behind me, so let's take a look here and see. Obviously, we've got a whole bunch of cars back there, and I guess I could get out and stand up there. I'm like, but you know, right here is actually kind of fine. I have the infamous, I got a sea view, so that's pretty sweet. It looks ridiculously gorgeously green. Oh, one thing too, when I bought the ticket, the guy was very nice, and he said, "Oh, have a very good time in Koh Lanta, or have a very nice time in Koh Lanta." Perfect English. I was like, oh, and I forgot. I mean, it's a tourist, you know, area, but likely most tourists probably get there via the other ferry, or they just walk up top there, or they come in a van, and then the van gets on the boat, and then the van takes them to wherever. Let me see on the map if I can't remember exactly where I'm gonna go, my destination. They had a Facebook page, and I chatted with them, and they said, let me verify, BAAN Phulay is the name of the place. They said 750 baht a night for 1 or 2 people, no breakfast, which is totally okay. Anyway, BAAN Phulay, it looks like we're moving, so that's awesome. It does feel a little bit weird being in a car and underneath me is moving, but I'm quite certain I'll get used to it. Anyway, BAAN Phulay, and is the name of the resort. Beachfront room, restaurant, and beach bar. So the restaurant's probably closed, but if I hit the directions button, and then my one of my best friends, Google Maps, wants to use my device's location, I will absolutely allow that. I assume this guy is not going to drive into my car, but is more here to provide some degree of tugboatness. So that's sort of interesting. Yeah, he's like pushing along, so Who knows? Who knows why that happens? So now you can see what I see. This is basically the this is the destination and the journey all rolled into one, guys. So this ferry takes us over to Koh Lanta Noi, and then we take a very, you know, easy drive, it looks like, over to Koh Lanta Yai, which is like kind of like basically synonymous with Koh Lanta, which is where many people just sort of hang out. Oh wow, it's like a 32-kilometer drive once I get over to the first Koh Lanta. Now it's 49 minutes, but I got to take a coastal road the whole way down. It looks here. Yeah, so basically we cross the bridge up there and then drive down pretty much to the southern part. And I don't know, I mean, there's some clouds and stuff, but there might be a possibility of sunset tonight at the beach, so that'll be kind of cool. All right, looks like our row is ready to go. This is a little bit of a dip, but I didn't bottom out. Thank you, Toyota. Thank you, Dr. Yaris. And he's picking up his buddies. And off they go. Probably a pretty common thing. Like, yeah, I'll take the car and you guys stand up top. And once we get off, I'll pick you up and we'll be on our way. All right, I'm gonna turn my map on. And once we get out of here, we will, well, get out of here. That's what I got going on behind me. And this is what I got going on in front of me. Okay. Well, welcome to Koh Lanta, ladies and gentlemen. And we're at kilometer 0. All right. Just some driving through the countryside, and I'll talk to you guys. Sri Lanta Bridge. Sorry, Sri Lanta. I also saw it written the other way. S-R-I Lanta. And some other signs, but... And once I get to this island, once I get over this bridge, this is effectively what the world refers to as Koh Lanta. When they say the word Koh Lanta, they mean this part, not the previous island. Wow, okay, so this is this is amazing. The hills were so intense, I'm like, okay, I may not make it out of there. Like, maybe this is the place, maybe this is not the place. So I get here and I asked the woman, I said, hey, do you have a room for rent? She goes, oh, no, I don't have tonight. I said, oh, okay, no problem. And she goes, wait, did you send me a message on Facebook? I said, yeah. She goes, you were supposed to be here last night? I said, I know, it got rainy. And anyway, so, but she held the room for me. She held a beachfront room. And on Facebook, she quoted me 775 baht. She goes, no, 700. I'm like, okay, I'm late. Amazing. And so this is like my front door. So it's not it's not sand, but I can tell you that I'm physically about the same distance from my front door as I was when I was staying in Koh Phangan. Now I will drive up and down this crazy hill in my little Toyota Yaris to give you some idea of how insane it is, but I said, yeah, a couple nights. I think this is great. I mean, at the end of the day, I paid 1,500 baht for the dome. And so 2 nights here is only 1,400 baht. She didn't want to take my passport. She didn't want a deposit. She didn't want me to pay it. She's got a restaurant. She goes, yeah, all we can really make is pizza and hamburgers and fried rice and some Thai food. I'm like, that's fine. I got to tell you guys, I am having a gratitude attack. Not a crazy crying one like I've had in the past, which I appreciate all of the wonderful remarks you guys made on my video. I really appreciate it. But hello. So I'm here in this little version of paradise, and I'm going to venture off and move my car a little bit closer to here. She says, oh yeah, minivans drive down here all the time. I'm like, okay. Anyway, so I'm going to go do this and check in, or I've already checked in, basically. She gave me the key. It's got air conditioning, it's got hot water. The LTE speed down here is killer, but you know, maybe they have Wi-Fi, who knows. I'll walk around a little bit more.